Right. Hello everyone, and today we are going to discuss very shortly about the IIM Kozhikode form that has come up, and I know that deadline is very near, and you might be having your ZAT exam also. So I will keep it short. I will keep it relevant because all the students I know are perhaps struggling or confused with the last 4 5 questions, the subjective questions. The other things are pretty much straightforward, but nevertheless let us quickly revisit and then we will go to the main part. So before you start, I'm sure that you would have done this all these things. Check the cutoff, the sectional and overall percentiles. You must be having your CAT ID ready with you and everything ready with you. And then once you visit the IIM Kozhikode website, those who have got the calls for the stage one, they have also received email. So check your email. I'm sure you would have done that. Visit the IIM Kozhikode website, select the academic programs, and then proceed. Right. So you will have to register once and then you have to log in. A very simple process. You must have done it several times before also. I'm not going to discuss a lot on registration and login. It's a very simple process. Program selection and summary. Now, this is something that you would have selected while filling up the CAT form. If you have selected the three programs and if you are shortlisted for all three, then you have to fill up the three different forms. Not three different forms, but the last part of that would be different, right? So this would be in your tab if you have been selected for one, two, or three program, right? So there is the application number for each program. um, Now personal details, that you have to fill this, but please keep one thing in mind: whatever information you are filling here should match the information that you have filled up in the CAT form. That is very, very important. So all the documents, all the things that you are going to fill in this form has to be same as the CAT form. This is academic qualification, once again something which is very factual, and you can fill up the by picking up the right options and drop downs. The work experience, that's the next in the form that you have to fill up, and once again something that doesn't require that much of thinking. So all the things are factual here. So illustrate. Now these are the important things: the SOP questions, which require a lot of thinking. Also knowing that the word limit is 500, which is not a short limit. I mean, you have to write a lot of things, you have to think and then write. But the thing is, if you are clear with what are the things that you want to portray, then 500 word limit is not that big. It may seem कि 500 बहुत है, but once you start writing, if you are clear in your thought process, then this won't be a big deal. But that is a challenge, and knowing that only 3 days time is left and ZAT exam is around the corner, I know that you would be pressed for time, right? Let us look at one question at a time, right? So for all the three programs, the last four questions are same, only the first question changes. So first question is something which is different for all the three. I mean, only difference is that how this particular goal fits in your career objective, right? Let us look at the first question first. Briefly outline your professional plans and career objectives in your own words, explaining and substantiating why you want to do PGP and what you expect to get from it. Now, beautiful. So this is a standard SOP. When we say statement of purpose, this is the thing that they wish to see. Now, for the simple clarification, don't get confused about what is professional plan and career objective. Let us keep it very simple. What you are supposed to do here is basically, let me draw it here, right? So there is a goal that you want to reach. There is your background, present. You are here, the present stuff. You want to reach a goal. To reach a goal, there are multiple paths that are possible. PGP or MBA is the most suitable path depending on your personality and the present. That is what is the basic structure of any SOP. The first question of SOP is basically this. So you have to think about what is your goal: long-term goal, short-term goal. what is your what is your present scenario. Now that is something which will have, say, academic qualification, the work experience, the skill sets, the strengths. This is your present. There is something which you want to reach, that is your goal. You need to tell that how PGP acts as a bridge between your present and the future. That is your question number one. But let me discuss things in bit more detail now. So, for example, I am saying that the first part is the background or the present part. Okay. So, what all things can come here? You can talk about your academic qualifications. So, for example, you are an engineer and you can talk about being in engineering, what have you learned, those kind of thing. You are a chartered accountant or a finance guy. So, academic qualification can come here, right? Your work ex will definitely come here if you are a work ex guy. That while working in this particular company, what kind of work you have been doing, and and while working, what has been your experience, right? So that part will come here, can come here. Work for work ex guy, that definitely should come here. I'm writing the other parts here, right? So I'm right now discussing the present, and in the present, what all things you can include is the present means your present is standing. A CAT qualification you can include, the work ex you can include, you should include actually. Third is your skills or your strengths. You include your interest, likes, dislikes, hobbies, whatever you want to call. And don't get confused about that. There is another question about hobby. That has a different purpose. We need to understand that the purpose of this first question is to get that how PGP is fitting in your entire career journey. So when I'm talking about entire career journey, I will talk about my strengths also, work experience also, acats also, my interest also, maybe influence also, how my family or friends or others have influenced me, or what kind of influence they have on me. All these things are my present. So you say that I'm a finance guy working in a bank at a as a researcher, right? So talk about your work a little bit. Then you talk about that in long term, your goal is to become an investment banker, or you see yourself managing funds, something of that sort. Then you talk about that how, with your present skill set and the present standing, you feel that there is a gap, right? So there is a gap, and who is going to fill this gap? This PGP or MBA is going to fill that gap. That is the structure. If you are a fresher, say for example, you are doing engineering at any place, or a commerce grad at any particular from any college, and you do not have any work experience, once again begin like that. Discuss about your academic, discuss about your college life, discuss about the internship that you have done, discuss about the goal that you want to reach in long term and in short term. We will discuss about goals just after the after this, and then discuss the gap, how MBA is going to fill up that gap. So this is the first part, the present standing part. Then the goal part. For most of the students this is slightly tricky कि goal क्या बोले. ठीक है. तो think about it, short term goal and long term goal. So what is your short term goal is basically the goal that you want to reach in say 5 years time. Long term is bit more 8 to 10 years time. So think about it. It should align with your background or the present standing. I mean, you cannot say that I want to do something which अभी तक के तुम्हारी प्रोफाइल में कोई रिफ्लेक्शन ही नहीं है. So keep in mind that whatever you are terming as your goal, it should have at least some alignment with what you are doing currently, your hobbies, your interest, your skills, your work, whatever thing. It should have alignment with at least something, right? That is your goal. And the third part is the gap part, that with your present skill set, you do not see yourself reaching your goal effectively, or in it's say it will take long time. So you want to do something which makes you more effective to reach your goal, and that gap is getting filled by PGP or MBA. That is the broad structure that you need to keep in mind. Okay. Now, while writing this answer, remember few things that I will like you to keep in mind. Give a strong opening. Please understand, a strong opening interest creates interest in the reader's mind, and the reader will go ahead. What happens most of the times, students keep the first two three lines very vague, they keep it very generic. Please understand, all of us have short attention span. If you talk too much generic stuff right in the beginning, then people will lose interest, reader will lose interest. Be specific. The first statement, for me, I will suggest, should always start with yourself. Don't give generic gyan, that word is like this, or there is a belief. So stop doing all those things. Make it personalized. Talk about yourself in the first two, three lines. I mean, the entire answer should be about yourself, but do not commit that mistake of being generic. Be specific in the beginning. Even if you want to start with your goals, be specific that 10 years down the line, I see myself as a consultant in the finance domain. Perfect. Chalu karo wahan se. Koi problem nahi hai, right? So those kind of beginnings are suggestible. If you want to talk about your present, talk about that I am a kind of person who believes in this. Talk about, make it more personalized, the first few lines, and then take it forward, right? So that is what you need to keep in mind for the first question. The second one, describe your strengths and weaknesses as identified by you. Let us keep strengths and weaknesses, I will say, ideally as two, not more than three in any case. Two is good, not more than three in any case. Same with the weakness. Two or maximum three. Even one will do if explained well, right? But let us discuss about them in little bit detail. So let me clear my screen. Okay. So right now I am discussing about strength first. So strengths. What are the strengths? So for example, you can be good in taking ownership. You can be good in teamwork. You can be good at analytically analyzing a situation and giving a structured framework to the thought process. There can be several strengths. I don't want to give you what is your strength, but these are the kind of things that are strengths. Rather than using words like passionate, passionate is not a, I mean, it is a strength, but let us not use those kind of things, right? Passionate, honesty, they are strengths. But from the perspective of the management student, what are those things that are required would be much more beneficial. Although, let us not try to fake things. No answer should be such that you are faking things, right? You need to be genuine and honest, right? So let us talk about the strengths. Strength, basically, it should have three parts. What do you believe is your strength? Give me the evidence of it, because without evidence, it is of no use. And if you can show that, how is it relevant, right? How is it relevant that whatever evidence you are showing and whatever strength you are showing is relevant for MBA? That will help. But this is not a mandatory part. If it can be done, fine. If it cannot be done, don't worry about it. Not mandatory. But the first two things are absolutely mandatory. Whatever strengths you're mentioning, please mention or please give the example, the evidence of the same, right? Two strengths, two evidences. Evidences could be something which showcases the strength in a manner wherein. So, for example, I will tell you what I'm trying to say. So, people say that I'm adaptable, and in the evidence they say that I for after class 12th, for the first time I visited, or for the first time I went out of my hometown, stayed at a hostel, and there were a lot of issues in the beginning, but I adapted. Now, that is not a strength. Please understand, anybody in your situation would do that. So when I'm saying what kind of evidences you can use, don't use the evidences for which the choice was obvious, right? Anybody in your situation would have done that. The evidence should be such that the choice was not obvious. You made a decision, you took a particular step, and then your strength get demonstrated. All right. For the weakness, Okay, let me see. Okay, so weakness, what we need to understand is that the weakness and how it has impacted you as a person. So you are not good at, for example, prioritizing things. So how does it impact you? And how does it impact your work? And if you can also provide the correction that you are doing, how are you trying to work on it? How are you trying to improve it? These are the things, three things that you should try to include. So I hope the strength and weakness part that is pretty much sorted. Okay. So let us now look at the third one. What is your most significant accomplishment so far? Now, now there are two ways to do it. One is significant accomplishment, which is very much quantifiable. So, for example, I was state topper in my class 12th or district topper in my class 10th, or I got a JE rank of say 500. I cleared my CA in first attempt, something of that sort, right? So what we call as say academic excellence or professional excellence. So these things can come. There are also other things which should come, which can come, are the things related to process, right? Wherein doing a particular thing was itself an accomplishment. We are not worrying about the result here. So, for example, I prepared for JE exam and I was not able to get a good rank. I was not able to get into say any of the prestigious IITs, but the entire process of preparation changed me as a person. So that process itself becomes the accomplishment here. So either of the two things you can do. That's not a problem. A lot of students worry about that. I'm not good at academics. There is nothing which I can say that this is excellent. Professionally, also, I'm doing okay, average. Think about the process part. So, you might have been the part of a team which was supposed to deliver something, and the entire process that you followed, that could be the most significant accomplishment. So do not restrict yourself to only the things that you feel in the normal world's eye will count as excellent, not required, not necessary. Even process part could be there, right? But whatever you mention here, what is your most significant accomplishment? Keep few things in mind. Mention about the context or the situation that you are describing. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा सिचुएशन क्या था, कॉन्टेक्स्ट क्या था, वो बताओ. Why you believe that your class 12th marks, yeah, whatever you did was great. Context and situation, that is required. Second is what action you took. इसको थोड़ा सा elaborate करना, what action you took. Then what was the outcome and what were your learnings that you are taking forward. So if you cover these three four things, I'm sure that 500 word is nothing. So context kya tha, what actions you took, steps you took, what was the outcome, and any learnings that you had, any regret that you have. I'm not necessarily, I should not use word regret, any learning, any observation that you had, right? Okay, so now let us look at what are your present hobbies. This I think is the simplest of all. So present hobbies, once again, we should not think only about those hobbies that sound intelligent, reading book. And so a lot of students worry about that. I do not have any such hobby. Fine, I know of a person who watched cartoons a lot. And in the IIM Lucknow interview, I'm talking about when I was in the college, right? He went and he said that I like watching Tom and Jerry, right? And the interview was centered around, not centered, but few more questions were asked around that. And that guy finally made it to IIM Lucknow. I'm not saying that the answer was the reason he made it to IIM Lucknow, but what I am saying is that let us not restrict ourselves to only those few hobbies. Whatever you like, you please write. You like playing video game, go ahead and write, right? You like traveling to places, please go ahead and write. You like hanging out with friends, right? Reading, watching sports, playing sports, whatever thing you do, please do not hesitate. Hobby is something that is if you have a spare time, you are going to do that thing, right? So that is your hobby. Now when you are writing it, It will be good if you can give more, you can be elaborate. So, for example, let me pick reading as an example. So, what kind of books you read, what kind of authors you like, those things will help the reader to understand about you as a person. For example, if you like to travel, what kind of places have you traveled and what interests you in those places, something of that sort. So be more थोड़ा सा elaborate होकर के उसके बारे में लिखना. Write about, right, say maximum two or maximum three, 2 to 3 hobbies. That will be good enough. I don't think people will have more hobbies. They can have interest or likes. That's a different thing. So 2 to 3, right? The last question, any other information you would like to share. Now what should you do here? So if you have something to share, please share. It doesn't, you don't have to necessarily write something. The option is given to you, any other information you would like to share. Now what all information you can perhaps think of writing here? I think, let me classify them as something which I have missed in the above answers. So I was not given the opportunity, but this is important facet of my life. So for example, for me personally, the drop year, after class 12th, I took a drop and I did not study well there also that time, right? But that year changed me as a person, right? So how it changed me as a person, I would like to maybe write about that. So drop year, sudden career change, maybe. Once again, I will like to write about that for me personally, career change, because I did my MBA from XLRI and now I am in teaching. That's something not many would do. And people do ask that why you are not in the corporate world. So career change, maybe that is something that I would like to write here. Anything which is, if I'm from unusual background, so I'm a usual gem person, so for me it is not the case, but unusual background, say MBBS. So MBBS person choosing to do something, may write about that professions, and how that profession has changed him or her as a person. So something which I have missed in the questions can come here, right? So this is something that you can keep in mind. Now, this is for PGP, right? For the LSM also, the last 4 question remain same. The only change is in the first question, right? So what you should do is briefly outline your professional plans and career objective in your own words, explaining and substantiating why you want to do PGP LSM and what you expect to get from it. So if you look at the IIM Kozhikode LSM ka description, that what they are saying is that they are looking for someone who has holistic kind of knowledge in the management field, right? So rather than specialist, this person will have holistic kind of knowledge in the field of LSM. That's what LSM is offering, right? So not many things are going to change. Maybe I will say 75 to 80% of your answer is going to remain same. Don't try to change it too much, because see, we need to be honest, and I cannot change my personality as per the question asked. So whatever the personality wala part was there, your background and the future goal, that all remains same. What you need to figure out is that how the LSM program fits into that. So 75-80% of the things you have already done, go through the LSM का curriculum. That is what I will suggest. उसको थोड़ा सा डिटेल में देखो, उनकी वेबसाइट में वो क्या पढ़ा रहे हैं, क्या बोल रहे हैं. That will give you the option, that will give you the hint actually to include that how LSM is filling up that gap, right? And the third is more specific in nature, finance. I'm sure that only those people who know that they want to do something in finance must have chosen that. And the reason would be very clear because of the background, right? So this is easier of the three, I think. PGP finance is more of a specialist thing that you must have filled, right? So once again, all the things remain same. Go and check the curriculum, the pedagogy of the PGP finance, and see how it fits into your goal, right? So that is it from my side, guys. In case you want to, you have any query, you can mail me at siddharth.mehta@careerlauncher.com. I am writing my mail ID. So I'm sure you have your mentors with whom you can get the things corrected. But in case any query you have, you can perhaps write down to me, or you can, post it, and we will be more than happy to reply. So that's it from my side, guys. Thank you.